What's up, guys? It's Lugo back with Flex Appeal, episode 65. Today is week 11, day 5. Push B. Started with some Duffalo bench. Took another big jump from last week. I think I did 87.5, 192.5, and this week I did 92.5. So we jumped about 10 kilos, and my pressing is feeling really, really good. Like very, very strong. I feel like I'm starting to find strides in my form, and I'm focusing more on soft touching to the chest instead of like trying to sink. Because I feel like on specifically on like Duffalo bench day, I was like struggling to find a rhythm with this, and it definitely feels like I've found it for sure. I did 3 sets of 6. My leg drive is feeling very good, and I feel like my upper body like really digging into my lats and pushing off of them. I'm feeling very good about that, and I'm just really excited. I have a very lofty comeback goal since this is only week 11 back. I'm hoping by like week when I max out, I do 308, which would be pretty. I think pretty good for um, like only being back for 4 months because my pressing just feels so good. But honestly, if I get like 297, I think I'd be happy as well. But the goal is like 308. And I feel like this Duffalo bench is really, really helping. I'll probably keep this in. Um, I think the goal is until I start doing like triples for strength, which will be like another 4 weeks ish. I'm gonna do fives. I have one more week of sixes left. I'm gonna do fives, and then I'm gonna go into like 2 weeks of threes, 2 weeks of doubles, and then into a fatigue drop off. Well, it'll technically 2 weeks of threes, and then 1 week of doubles, and then the fourth week will be like a drop off in fatigue, and then going into like another week of just dropping off. Which I hope I don't detrain. I think it'll be good to just drop for 2 weeks and keep the intensity high. Hit like my heaviest singles on that week where I'm dropping volume, and then just a pure drop off into a max out. So we'll see how that goes. I haven't peaked in a while, and I haven't really programmed peaking for myself in a while. So we'll see if I need to adjust that. But I added in this high incline press or like a military press on a barbell. And I was a little bit skeptical because I feel like the last time I did this, it wasn't great. And I was having like a problem on Smith where my wrist was hurting. And I was just feeling like maybe I'm just pushing too hard on that when I don't need to. And this felt really good. This is only like 143. I did 3 sets of 6, but this felt very good, very strong. And overall, I'm kind of liking where my shoulder strength is at because I think like I said before, historically my shoulder strength has not been very good, and I know it's not that strong, but relative to my bench right now, it is pretty strong. And I'm very happy about that. I definitely do like shoulder pressing quite a bit. I've definitely warmed up to it than I did in more than I did in the past because I used to really really dislike shoulder pressing because I was so bad at it. Um, Dude, these felt great. I don't know what it is, like I said before as well, about the seated cable fly, but it just feels so good. I kind of like to keep cable flies in at least once a week for any chest training, regardless of if I'm benching, just because I feel like taking your pecs through that full range of motion um, gives you a really good feeling. And I don't even know if I get this from like dumbbell bench. So I just like to keep 1 or 2 sets in here um, for like pec health and just getting a full stretch. Do I think it actually does anything important that a dumbbell bench doesn't do? I mean, maybe not. It's probably placebo. But they do feel good, and I really do like doing this. I mean, I'm gonna just gonna keep it in for a while. Like I said, the first day, my first bench day, I'm gonna take flies out because I don't think I need to do them twice a week, and I want to get a little bit more relative volume. I'm hoping that I can do dips soon, because even like body weight dips would probably be really good in that third slot, because I do bench, incline, and then I was doing flies, but maybe I'll still just do deficit push-ups because I don't feel like I can probably do more than two or three dips right now. I'm kind of like trying this to build them up from like this dead stop that I have. I have a dip station, pull-up station in my house right now. I've had it for a few years, and it's like low enough to where I start the bottom from a complete dead stop of my feet, and I'm able to get the rep half up. And I feel like if I start progressing that very well, like just starting from dead stop, and I'm able to do a few reps in a row, I can probably build up my dips even at what my body weight is at, which is like currently 300 flat. I measured yesterday. So, and then hopefully I'll be able to do weighted, but I think a set of 8 to 10 would probably be the goal for like three straight sets before I add weighted. Um, that would be pretty cool, I think. I had to add some wrist wraps because my wrist was kind of bothering me in like my elbow area. Specifically on this thing, it's just because I cock my wrist back too much on it because it just feels better when I'm doing Smith like that, where it's like laying in the bottom of my palm and I'm not putting my thumb around it. I could probably consciously try to keep my wrist straighter a little bit more, and it would probably be uh more, not more. It would be better for my wrists because it feels weird on that. But I really do like jam press, so I'm just gonna try to work around it a little bit. Nothing crazy though. I haven't really gotten to the point where my wrist is being bothered too much right now. It's like specifically my left one, but I think as I get heavier again, I'm probably gonna add wraps back in, uh, like around fives, so that way if I do use them on my heavier pressing days, that I start to get used to them early, before I even get to like singles. But for now, I like to do my hypertrophy rep work and around like sixes without wrist wraps, so that I just can keep my wrists a little bit more stable. And I've never really had wrist problems too crazy, just because I feel like I have thick wrists. I have like just thick everything, thick bones, thick joints, thick wrists. So I've never had to go too crazy on wrist training stuff. But these incline extensions I really like. I had a setup that I really like for pushdowns, which is like it's like a adjustable lat bar with like the little holes, and you could put like a carabiner down, and I would use basically like my cuffs, and I would do pushdowns like that. And I gave that adjustable lat bar to my cousin, so I think I'm gonna get another one and get some carabiners and do that with this because I really like how that feels. Um, and I think I'm at the point where I'm over cuff pushdowns just because I don't care for the unilateral stuff, and I feel like I would get the same. I'm getting the same stimulus from doing it bilateral, just with that attachment. So it would definitely free up a good amount of time at the end of the workout because I usually put pushdowns as my last tricep exercise, just to save time, and the compounds are a little bit heavier. So I do like this movement. I added this one in last week on this day. High to low rear delt fly. It like perfectly aligns with your delt fibers. And from, dude, my back is kind of getting jacked a little bit. Like my lats are coming in. You can see my traps. Um, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling lean and mean. I'm insanely locked into my diet right now. Like the most I've probably ever been in my diet, and I think It's like genuinely starting to show in my training and my physique. And I just have to keep it rolling to the end of this year and then beyond. I think that the goal, I'm gonna let this roll a little bit while I yap. I think that goal by the end of the year for my weight is probably like, I'm like 300 right now. I have November, December, the rest of October, November, and December, so like 3 months. I think realistically, I could probably get to. I want it to be 250, but I think 260 is probably like a more realistic goal. But I did drop my calories, so I think I'm probably going to shoot a little ambitious and go for 250. So that would be like 50 pounds from now. If I could drop to like 280 this month, and then, or no, maybe like 270, no, 285 this month, 260 in November, by the end of November, and then by the end of January, like 250. That would be 15 pounds, so like 45. Um, that would be ideal. But that's pretty much it, guys. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for my leg day. Hope you enjoyed.